Morning and welcome back to Homestead Kickoff Week. Today is day 3 and today we're talking all about vertical gardening. And unfortunately the weather is trying to really rain us out today, but we are just going to press on and do the best we can. So today, as we talk about trellis building, you'll be seeing all kinds of tips start to be posted on my page for things you can grow vertically, things that you can the ways you can set up your trellises, debunking myths about vertical gardening. Today is all about learning to massively increase your production in a small space by helping your plants grow up instead of out. Now, why would you want to do this? So before we even figure that out, why you would do this, let's talk some statistics, because I read something last night, guys, that blew my mind. So I came across this chart from the USDA that was the January 2025 national average cost of food at home. And so it gave this chart, and it was separated by men, women, and ages, all the way from babies to senior citizens. And you look on this chart and it said your food cost based on if you were low cost, a moderate, or liberal food plans, like how tight your budget is. So I figured it up, and for my family of 5, according to the USDA, they say if I am on a low cost food plan, I should be spending an average of $15,619 a year on groceries. That breaks down to $1,301 a month on the low cost plan. Now, if you do a moderate plan or the liberal plan, it goes up from there. And I did the math, and according to the USDA, for my family, it should cost between $15,619 and $25,733 per year. $25,000 a year for groceries. Please tell me you guys are not spending that. And this is the national average? This blew my mind. How are people living? How are people affording to feed their babies with these prices? And I think it's not that we don't go to the grocery store, because we do. I mean, we don't grow grains, and so we have to buy grains, and we don't have dairy yet, so we have to buy dairy. But I don't buy a lot of things that I used to buy. I can so much. I very rarely buy vegetables. I never buy canned soups or broths or stuff like that. We make all of that. Never buy jams and jellies. I don't ever have to buy tomato sauce or tomato soup or tomato anything. All of those staples that I used to spend a lot of money on, I don't anymore because I grow them. And I guess I didn't realize until I saw this chart last night, how much money it really is saving my family to be doing this thing and growing so much food at home. We're not even spending a third of what they say on the low cost it would be to feed my family a month. Not even a third of that. So I want to encourage you, if you're watching this today and you're yeah, I'm feeling the pain of the grocery cost. I'm feeling that whole $25,000 a year grocery hit, and we're drowning with it. But I'm also completely overwhelmed and don't know where to start with the garden, and I need help, and I really want to do it, but I don't know what I'm doing. If that's you, I understand, because that's exactly where I started out too. I knew I wanted better. I knew that I was sick. I was ill, really sick with Lyme disease. I knew I needed better food. I knew I needed to completely overhaul my lifestyle. But I didn't know where to start. And so in 2022, I believe it was, I actually, we had been living here for 2 years, and I had been studying gardening and doing a little bit about chickens. But in 2022, I had this epiphany moment where I was I'm going to spend my cold weather months learning skills that then I can practice the next spring and summer. And I was thinking, if every fall and winter I focus on one skill, then like within 20 years, I could like know how to do a whole lot of stuff, just learning one thing at a time. And so that's what I've been doing. So I learned, I learned to do the freeze drying. I learned how to dehydrate. Then I did herbs. And then last year I was going to do sewing, and then I ended up getting into knitting, weirdly enough. So like finding these skills is a lot of fun, but it also can save you serious money. And if you really think about it, realistically, okay, if the USDA says it's going to cost $25,000 a year to feed my family, and if I can feed my family with gardening for a third of that, let's say we can do it for $12,000 a year, which I still think is astronomically high. We don't spend that on groceries, but even at that, like that's like an income from a part-time job, right? Like could you stay home from your job if you were bringing in $25,000 worth of food every year? Maybe. And that's kind of how things happened for my family. You know, a lot of times people ask, like, how do you guys homestead full time? Or the favorite comment is, well, you don't get it because you have a bunch of followers and y'all obviously are rolling in money. And to that, I say, you need a reality check, because followers does not equal wealth. That's not how that works. Instagram doesn't pay you. You know, everybody has their own business strategy, but that's not a thing. We are frugal people, and we work hard, and we show up on rainy days like this when it's muddy and gross and we don't want to do it. And we show up because it's important. And in the first little bit, you know, I would say within the first year, we weren't even gardening on a huge scale yet, but I would say within the first year, we made, like what we saved on groceries in the first year alone, more than paid for any classes I had taken, more than paid for the books. And I went crazy with the books. I bought way more than I needed to. And but I wanted to study. Like, I treated this as a full-time job. I was like, if I want to produce full-time job type food, I've got to work. Like, this is my full-time job. And I did. Like, hours and hours studying and learning. And guess what? A year later, not only had I quit my full-time job, but my husband was able to come home. You know, he's a pastor, but he was bivocational, which means he was having to work 2 jobs because our church is little. That's a stressful thing for a pastor. If you have a pastor who's bivocational, you need to send him a card and tell him you love him and you're praying for him. And that was a hard season for our family. Like, we struggled. And within a year of like treating my homestead like a full-time job, I was able to bring him home. And the thing is, there are lots of ways you can do this. There's tons of ways you can make income from a little homestead. And I'm not talking a big farm. I'm talking a little homestead, a backyard homestead. We're on a little under 3 acres here. And I would say we are doing food production on less than a third of that. You can grow a ton of food in like a quarter of an acre. An amazing amount of food. So I want to encourage you today, if you're struggling and you're like, I want to do this, but I don't know where to start. First off, I want to invite you to a very, off the top, it's free, a free class. And this is going to be the class that, number 1, is going to fire you up. And number 2 is going to encourage you and give you the exact strategies. Not generic advice, okay? Nothing is worse than signing up for a class and you think you're going to show up and learn, you know, how to dry herbs. And then you just show up and it's nothing but like they're trying to sell you, you know, an herbal kit worth $15,000 or something insane. Have y'all ever got suckered into something like that? I have, and I've been mad. I felt like they took advantage of my time. That's not what we want to do. We want to give you, I'm partnering with my friend Jill from Whispering Willow Farm. You guys know and love Jill. And she's in Arkansas, I'm in North Carolina, and we are planning this big workshop where we're going to give you the strategies we use. So Jill and her husband Nathan are doing this full time. Josh and I are doing this full time. We all have a ton of kids. She's got 4, I got 3. And we sat down and compared notes, and we were like, how can we teach this and like really give it to people in a way that they can just apply it? Like they know what to do, when to do it, what order to do it in, how to maintain it, and then even once you grow it, like how do you preserve it so it doesn't all just go bad, you know? Exactly what we're going to be teaching you. And so this class is going to be held on April 15th, and it is completely free. We are gifting it to everyone who grabs the Homestead bundle this week. And if you haven't looked at the Homestead bundle, welcome to the party. You're about to get excited. The Homestead bundle is so fun. We do this bundle twice a year, but full disclosure, I'm pretty sure we're only doing it once this year. And basically a whole bunch of different teachers get together, and anybody, like we go and we find people that have like the best of the best resources in gardening, canning, herbalism, food preservation, anything homestead related, clean ingredients, there's cookbooks, just tons and tons of stuff, sourdough. And we basically say, hey, will you be part of this big community event? It's only for 10 days. And if they agree, they donate their books. Like I donated my brand new book about companion planting this time. And we all put them together in like this one big download list. And for 10 days, we offer it to all of our communities for $50. And so this year, when we put everything together, we got some really cool new people in it this year. Lots of brand new stuff compared to last year. And it's actually my favorite bundle. I called a friend yesterday, and she's bought like 3 Homestead bundles. And I was like, girl, you need to look at this. I was like, you're still going to want this one. And sure enough, she bought it. Like, it's that good. And, you know, these bundles are kind of the way I fed my fall and winter learning. So I would save a bundle, and like right now, I do not have time to go through a bunch of courses. I'm in the middle of planting my food for the year. So what I'm doing is I got my bundle. Yes, I buy my own bundle. Always, I bought one yesterday, and I bought one for a friend the day before that. And you save it into like a Google Drive folder or a zip drive, and then you can print what you want to print. A lot of it is PDFs that are printable. And then you've got a whole resource library, and you can go through on just one at a time. And that's what I've done. That's how I've learned a whole lot. I got into herbalism from a bundle. I was part of this Homestead bundle back in like 2022, and I put in my garden guide, and through that bundle, I started reading about herbs from some other gardeners who had more experience, and I fell in love, and I enrolled in classes, like not cheap free classes, but like I went and started enrolling in true like big time herbalism school classes, like dropped thousands of dollars on education. And it started with the bundle. Like that just opened my eyes to something that now I can't imagine my life without herbs. Like it's a huge part of my day-to-day life and what I do in my community, how I minister to my friends and family. I got somebody coming this afternoon to get some herbs for something. So like, you just never know where it will take you. So, all that to say, if you get a Homestead bundle, you get 78 books and courses in there. The total value is like $4,800, something insane like that. There's some courses in there that are worth several $100s by themselves. There's one in there about kitchen medicine and folk herbalism. Y'all, be still my heart. I love that one. So good. My brand new book about companion planting is in there with layouts to show you where to plant things in your garden this year. My friend Jill has a book in there. The one I'm teaching the class with, she's got her sourdough book in there if you've been wanting to learn to do sourdough. And she really teaches it in such a simple way. Like, I've never really nailed sourdough, and even as gluten-free, like I'm watching Jill and I'm thinking maybe I could do this. So you want to check that one out. Natalie, a lot of you have been coming to Natalie's classes in the evening. Natalie has something in there called I Am Worm Farmer, where she will teach you about composting and having a worm farm to produce your own compost for your homestead. There's so much stuff, and I'm not going to take up your day and tell you everything. You guys are grown adults, and you can go look at it. But I want you to know it's available to you, but it's only going to be available until April 9th. So we have just 7 days left. And then once you grab your bundle, you are automatically saved a seat into the class that Jill and I are doing on the 15th, the big deep dive strategy class that you do not want to miss. It's called The Self-Sufficient Family Garden, How to Grow All the Food Your Family Needs. And I should add, without spending $25,000 like the USDA says you should spend for food. That's insanity. Let's lower your grocery bill. You do not have to do this alone. There are a whole slew of people that are literally just showing up here on the internet this week like, let us help you, Homestead. Let us teach you. We want to help you, because we wished we had that when we started. So I hope that you will accept that offer. I hope that you will jump in and grab your bundle and then come to that workshop. Listen, even if you don't open the bundle, get it for the workshop ticket. The workshop is $3.97, so you'd be better off to pay $50 and get the bundle for the free ticket. Just a little tip. So there's your info for today. All of the information is at the link. If you click on Grace Walk Farm up there, if you're watching live, if you were watching the replay, you can click on the caption below for all the info, or you can comment Kickoff right now before we jump off. And as you do, it will automatically fire you all the details to your inbox, so it'll be waiting on you. The bundle is going to be, are you asking where it's going to be delivered, or like how do you get to it? Yes, you can open it now if you purchase it. So you can go ahead, it's instant. As soon as you download it, you're in it. And it'll take you to ThriveCart as the dashboard, and you create your account, and then you log in, and it will actually show you the full list. It'll separate them into ebooks and courses, and then you can go click through and download what you want, save what you want. And you don't have to keep all of them. I'm probably not going to raise quail. There's a great book in there about quail, but I'm just probably not going to raise quail unless I would have to, because I've got space for chickens. So I may not even download the quail book. Knowing me, I will, because I might need it at some point, and I'm a book collector, but you can totally just skip through and take the ones you want and leave the rest. It's totally up to you. It's a personalized kind of thing. So I want to thank you guys for the support and the love we've been getting. It's kind of wild because it's only day 3 and this thing's going for 10 days, and I'm just completely blown away by the response. We've had so many people come into the workshops. We've had ladies praying together in the comments during the workshops. We've had people sharing their stories of hope, and it's already been so good. I feel so filled up and fired up, and it's only day 3. So we got a lot of good stuff ahead. I do want to say today's theme is vertical gardening, and so all of the things you'll see me posting today are going to be about vertical gardening, how to grow up instead of out. And Josh and I had planned to teach you a hands-on type class, hands through the screen, but you know what I mean, a hands-on type class today about how to build trellises. But if you can't tell, it's actually raining here, and we're supposed to get storms. So we're going to bump that outdoor class till tomorrow afternoon, but it's still coming. We just need a sunny, dry day to do it, because we're going to be digging and moving big panels, and we're bringing in some help because we'll need extra hands while we're filming. But I think you're going to love that class, and you'll get a real up-close look at how do you set it up, whether you want to do the tunnel of love style like we've got by the greenhouse, or you like the way we do the tomatoes with the raised, up off the ground. We'll show you both methods, both styles. Classes are happening pretty much all day. They're staggered 2 to 3 times a day. So to get the schedule, you can comment Kickoff, and that should send you the schedule. You can also go grab a pencil. I'm going to give you a URL. You can also go to tinyurl.com/kickoff calendar, and that will give you the full week schedule all at once. And there's also some big giveaways that have been posted. Seed Time sponsored a giveaway for us yesterday where they're gifting someone a $1,000 value premium lifetime membership. What? It's an amazing gift. So make sure you drop on my page and hit those giveaways too. So one more time, if you need the schedule, you go to tinyurl.com/kickoff calendar, and all of that is listed at the link in my bio. I've got it all listed. The bundle, all the good stuff is waiting on you. So I hope you'll enjoy, dig in, read some books on this rainy day. Go get in my companion planning guide. I've got a layout in there called the Edge layout that shows you how you can do a bed with a trellis as like a vertical wall at the back. So you can start reading about that before the class, and then if you like the look of it, you'll learn how to build it tomorrow. So dive in, have a fun rainy day, and Josh and I will be back with you this evening, even if it is raining, for another night of stories of hope. And yeah, you don't want to miss that. Those are the best part of the week. So we'll see you tonight. Thank you guys. Go get your bundles, get your workshop tickets. And I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for doing what it takes to feed your family.